Welcome to my channel, The Drama Show, Fireworks of My Heart. Hello, everyone. At the beginning of episode number 8, they show us that the rescue team has to go on a mission. Actually, there was a girl in a building who had climbed up to commit suicide. She wasn't listening to anyone. Now, her safety was in their hands. The supervisor of this mission is Mr. Su. He goes up and makes a lot of efforts to convince the girl. Actually, she had lost her job, and her boss had also behaved very badly with her. And instead of understanding her, their parents also start blaming to her. The girl felt like she was useless, and that no one loved her. Here, Su tries to comfort her in some way. He wanted some time so that his team could prepare for her safety. In the meantime, Su starts telling her, "My life is just like yours. But look, you are young right now, and you're beautiful too. You have many opportunities to live your life." Su had somehow succeeded in convincing her. However, the people standing there start saying hurtful things to her, and her mind was already filled with negativity. They all say, "Such a girl shouldn't even be allowed to be born." Upon hearing this, she immediately jumps off, and Su doesn't even think for a moment. He also leaps after her and manages to catch her. There was a safety rope with him, so they are safe. They slowly descend. As soon as they reach the ground, Su gets very angry with those people, saying, "We did so much to save a life, and you have no shame." Today, that poor guy had been quite injured while carrying out this mission. Meanwhile, they show us Miao, who tells Yazzie that the supplier you recommended turned out to be a fraud, and because of that, my brother had to pay a fine of 150,000. Z feels very sorry and says that we will both help you repay that money to your brother. On the other hand, Song learns about Suo's performance during the mission today. He approaches Suo and says, "Sorry for saying so much about you. Actually, I've become too tough sometimes, and I can be selfish. I should have understood you. You've always been my best friend." And right there, they reconcile. Then Song and Su decide that they will always remain friends, whether Suo works at this station or not. But Suo says, "I will always be proud that I worked at this station." After reconciling, they talk about many things after so many days. And Su wishes for Song that instead of being sad all the time, he should bring some happiness into his life. In the midst of this, Suo receives a message from the girl he saved today. She says, "You've given me a new life. I was about to do something very wrong, but with the second chance you've given me, I'll live it well. You're my hero." Upon reading this, Su starts to feel a deep sense of pride. That day, Su decides that he will spend at least one more year at this station. Then he calls his girlfriend and asks, "Can you wait for me for one more year?" However, she breaks up with him and gets very angry. Hearing this, Su becomes very upset and tears up his transfer application. Now, the next day, we see Song attending a seminar where many comrades are present. They are discussing a new technology. Mr. Jiang Yu arrives and starts talking to them about using robotics in firefighters' rescue operations. Here, Song raises some objections, saying that the design he mentioned is not practical. At this point, we are not that advanced because a firefighter's job requires making immediate decisions that a machine cannot make. Here, Jiang is quite impressed by Song's words. He wanted to be friends with Song, but our hero was a bit too stubborn. After this, Song goes straight to his boss and says, "Mr. Suo has sent you an application for transfer. Please approve it. I have no problem. I can handle the station alone." However, Mr. Gao responds, "Su didn't send me any application." Hearing this, Song feels very embarrassed. At the same time, we see Suo and his entire team on a mission. There was a severe fire in a building. Here, a major incident occurs, and in the end, they realize that when the last explosion happened, Mr. Suo was still inside. They go to rescue him and find out that he was severely injured. When Song learns about this, he is in great agony and rushes to the hospital. He discovers that Suo's life has been saved, but he is far from okay. One of his hands is not functioning, and his face has been burned. Song cries a lot at this point, realizing how wrong he had been about Su. Song reflects on how many times he had criticized Su, And today, Sue has made such a huge sacrifice for their department. Despite his injuries, Soo-ro remains strong and tries to stop Song from crying. When Song can no longer hold back his emotions, he goes out of the room and cries, remembering the days when he shouldn't have been so harsh with Sue. When Song returns, Sue's first question is about the girl he had gone inside to save. She did survive, but she was severely burned. She had been very beautiful before, but now she would never be the same. Mr. Sue was also quite handsome, but his face was now badly damaged. But even now, he remains very courageous. And this is what he says. Well, when my wedding happens someday, I will proudly tell my children what kind of firefighter I was. And I used to work at the best station. Hearing all this, Song often cries a lot. But Suo was still strong. And then, a few days later when he recovers, a ceremony is arranged by his department. And this ceremony was to retire Sue. There were tears in everyone's eyes here, and while announcing it, their officer was also crying. Their most brilliant officer, Suo, is retiring today, with many honors as well. Now, he will go to another department and serve his country. And today's emotional story ends right here. If you liked this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, The Drama Show. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you stay updated on upcoming videos. Until then, goodbye and take care. Thank you for watching.